Hi, dear friends. Welcome to today's video. A couple months back, I tried eating Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen diet for almost 2 weeks. I guess it's not so much a diet as guidelines for having a healthy, balanced, plant-based diet. Dr. Greger is a physician who wrote a couple books on nutrition and health, and he regularly posts videos on his YouTube channel, nutritionfacts.org. If you want more information about what he and the people at Nutrition Facts do, you can visit their website, also called nutritionfacts.org. In this video, I'll show you what exactly I ate those 12 days and my experience with it. Once I decided to start the diet, I went on my phone to download the Daily Dozen app. The first thing on the list is 3 servings of beans. This didn't really change much for me because I would already frequently have hummus with lunch, and I'll usually eat some sort of legume such as lentils, black beans, or meat replacement that has soy protein in it. The next thing is 1 serving of berries, either fresh, frozen, or dried. This was a bit of a change for me because I don't often eat berries, but it's only 1 serving, so I didn't see much trouble with that. Now the next section was more challenging. Fruits. I eat fruit, sometimes, but not 3 servings a day. Luckily, I discovered this. Apparently, avocado is a fruit. I know, right? I did not know about that. All my fruit-related fears disappeared, as I love avocado. I was also a little worried about the amount of vegetables that I was supposed to eat. 1 serving of cruciferous vegetables such as arugula, broccoli, or cauliflower, 2 servings of greens such as beet greens, kale, or spinach, and 2 servings of other vegetables. That's a total of 5 servings. Before this diet, I was doing okay with the section other vegetables, but I had to incorporate more greens into my diet, and I had to make sure that I had some cruciferous vegetables every day. Then a tablespoon of flax seeds for some omega-3, a serving of nuts and seeds, some herbs and spices, and 3 servings of whole grains. Funny thing, I didn't do enough research beforehand, and as you'll see, the first couple days I had white rice, regular pasta, and I didn't realize that that's not actually considered a whole grain. After that, I transferred to whole grain rice, whole grain pasta, whole grain bread, etc. 5 servings of beverages, for which I mostly drank water, and then 90 minutes of moderate intensity activity or 40 minutes of vigorous intensity activity. I don't really exercise regularly. I'll exercise for a couple days 1 week and then nothing for a month. So to do this every day for 12 days was a fun challenge. The last thing on the list is vitamin B12, just because there's no animal product on the list and most animal products contain B12, whereas plant-based products usually don't unless it's artificially added. I started this diet on March 25 and I began that day with exercise. First, I did some stretching and then 2 types of planks, push-ups, mountain climbers, some sort of squat, a couple of lunge-like exercises, and then some triceps. Even though my leg muscles were very sore from the workout, I somehow managed to drag myself downstairs to make breakfast. Breakfast that day was some hibiscus tea and banana bread with peanut butter. I made the banana bread with oats, flax seeds, banana, peanuts, cinnamon, and cocoa powder, meaning that I could check off 1 serving of whole grains, herbs and spices, nuts and seeds, flax seeds, and 1 serving of fruits. Moving on to lunch, I made 2 sandwiches with hummus for beans and arugula, which is both a green and a cruciferous vegetable, but since I'll have another cruciferous vegetable for dinner, this portion of arugula counts as greens, avocado for fruits, cucumber, black pepper, and sriracha. This was still before I realized that whole grains actually does not include the bread that I had here, which was essentially just a kind of white bread. Anyway, the bread that I'm eating in this clip is definitely not made from whole grains, but I'll learn that later on. For dinner, I had noodles with tofu for beans, bok choy for cruciferous vegetable, bell pepper, onion, and bean sprouts for other vegetables. Once again, here I was still oblivious to the fact that these noodles did not count towards whole grains. After dinner, I had a smoothie with frozen berries and banana, and a couple more cups of herbal tea. It's the next day and I'm stretching again. I've been trying to get to the splits for such a long time now, and if I ever get there, I'll definitely post a video about that. Anyway, after stretching, I did planks, push-ups, mountain climbers, squats, and some other type of leg exercise. Pretty much the same as the day before. I decided to start the day off with some fruits, so I made a smoothie with frozen berries and apple. For B12, I have this really nice B12 spray. Since I still felt a bit hungry after having devoured that smoothie, I made myself a piece of banana bread with peanut butter. I then spent some time reading while making sure I wouldn't be dehydrated. Reading, unlike exercising, is not part of the daily dozen, but I do like to read for a bit every day, especially in the morning. It's a nice start to the day, and I feel more productive afterwards than when I'm looking at my phone in the morning. For lunch, I had pretty much the same as what I seem to be having every day for lunch in this video, a sandwich with hummus, arugula, avocado, and sriracha. I tried my best to incorporate more greens into my dinners as well as my lunches, so here I had pasta with spinach for greens, onion, garlic, and mushrooms for other vegetables, and pasta for grains. I forgot to add a type of beans, so I just had a serving of hummus on the side. I didn't expect much of that, pasta with hummus, but it was actually really nice. The next day I stretched, squatted, planked, and did some more leg exercises. From now on, most of the breakfast will be oats. I found that making oats was rather easy and a good way to get a lot of healthy foods in one meal. I first cooked the oats in oat milk or whatever plant milk there is in my fridge. For fruits, I added 1 apple, which I will leave to cook with the oats for just a few minutes. I then like to add other things such as flax seeds, hemp seeds, dried cranberries, and cinnamon. It tastes a lot better than it looks, I promise. I then took some vitamin B12 and some vitamin D. What did I have for lunch? You guessed it, the same old sandwich as every day. There is a twist though, I had blueberries with it this time. I already ate some hemp seeds with breakfast, but to complete my serving of nuts and seeds, I had some almonds, then some fruit and some more water, and by this time it's dinner time. This lovely pile of mush consists of lentils, onion, broccoli, bell pepper, and spinach, and white rice. Please avert your eyes to avoid seeing that evil lump of nutritionally weak carbs. As you can see, I still hadn't figured it out. White rice is not a whole grain. In about 2 days, the revelation will happen. Please have patience with me. To finish off the checklist, I drank a few cups of tea in the evening. On day 4, I started the day with stretching, after which I made breakfast with oats, apple, almonds, flax seeds, and cinnamon. For lunch, berries and the very predictable avocado sandwich, and in the afternoon, I did some house chores that count towards exercise. Then some fruit, and for dinner, I had leftovers from the day before. To make it a bit more interesting, I added some avocado. After another drink of water, I finished all the boxes. That night, I also put some chickpeas in water to soak overnight. I was planning to use chickpeas for dinner the next day and use the rest for making hummus. How did I start day 5, you ask? Well, you won't believe it, but I stretched. For breakfast, I had the same oat recipe as the day before and added in some blueberries for variety. Lunch, what can I say? It's a good combination. The beverage that you see is rice hazelnut milk. Since I only stretched that morning and I didn't do any other type of workout, I did some house chores again and decided that the bathroom could use a good cleaning. And with that, I checked off the exercise box. For fruits, I made a very delicious smoothie with banana, dates, almond milk, cocoa powder, and nut butter. The nut butter that I'm using here is homemade walnut butter, which is absolutely heavenly. This concoction may not look very appetizing, but the taste is great, and it's very healthy as well. After doing some groceries, I made a salad with chickpeas, broccoli, spinach, and sweet potato. Oh, and if you're wondering what happened to the rest of the chickpeas, we ended up making at least 7 batches of hummus and 4 portions of chickpeas to stock in the freezer. I might have slightly underestimated the way that chickpeas tend to swell up while soaking. On day 6, after all the regular stretches, I did a wall sit, some glute exercises, up and down plank, push-ups, a couple more leg exercises, and some ab exercises. And oh, would you look at that, I didn't have oats for breakfast. I don't know what came over me here, but that day I had homemade whole wheat bread with hummus and some blueberries with rice hazelnut milk. Lunch was very similar, though I added some spinach for greens and some almonds instead of berries. The day has finally come. What you see here is not just regular pasta, it's whole wheat pasta. I ate it with vegan soy-based meat replacement, a bunch of veggies, arugula, and a tiny bit of vegan cheese for extra tastiness. To get my daily serving of fruits, I made that same smoothie as the previous day with lots of banana and dates. On day 7, I went back to my regular breakfast of oats, apple, flax seeds, and berries. Naturally, I also did my morning stretches and an unholy amount of leg exercises. I don't know what it is with these leg exercises. Normally when I work out, I do a lot of ab and arm exercises as well. But for some reason, during these 12 days, I decided that every day should be leg day. Moving on to lunch, I had leftovers from the previous day, but left out the pasta and substituted the arugula for spinach. Some almonds for nuts, some homemade whole wheat olive bread for whole grains, and for dinner, I had marinated and roasted cauliflower with black bean quinoa burgers and spinach. To finish the checklist, I had 2 tangerines in the evening. Day 8, we're almost there. After a regular breakfast, this time with walnut butter, I went on a mountain bike ride for exercise. For lunch, I had those black bean burgers from the previous day with some spinach and some avocado. I last had avocado 4 days ago, so naturally I was craving some of that green goodness. Dinner was a delicious combination of roasted cauliflower and sweet potato, some guac, black bean puree, and some whole wheat wraps. I topped it with spinach and some hot sauce. Later that evening, I had some blueberries, and with that, the list was completed. Day 9 started off with working out, and I'm glad to announce that it finally included something other than leg exercises. With sore arms, I ate my oats with apple, flax seeds, and walnut butter. I welcomed back the hummus, spinach, and avocado sandwich and had a tangerine for fruits. I wanted to try a different cruciferous vegetable and chose red cabbage. I ended up making a very interesting dish, which I don't think I'll ever make again. The last thing I ate that day was a cup of frozen berries. Day 10, third to last day. I did some stretching and cardio, after which I had a nice plate of oats. I have to say, displayed like this, it looks a lot better than all the previous days, don't you think? I also had a lot of tea with that to stay hydrated. Lunch rolled around and I found myself eating the infamous hummus sandwich, to which I added some jalapeno peppers for some spiciness. I made some black bean burgers for dinner and had to go through the whole process of eating that strange purple salad again, but together with the rest of the food, it was all good. Day 11, second to last day. I don't know why I still bothered to show you, but yes, I stretched and had oats for breakfast. For lunch, I made a different kind of sandwich without avocado. To the hummus, I added some bell pepper, tomato, and spinach, which was a nice variation on the regular sandwich. I mean, avocado is great, but eating it in the same way for so many days made me want to try something different. I ate a banana and a tangerine for fruits, and for dinner, I made whole wheat noodles with tofu and vegetables. Day 12, last day. Yes, stretching, oats, leftovers, and to wrap it all up, I had a wrap with beans, vegetables, lamb's lettuce, I think it's called, and a bunch of avocado. After these 12 days, I didn't go back to eating the way I did before starting the diet, but I didn't follow it as strictly as for this video. I think the Daily Dozen app is a great way to track what you're eating and to encourage you to try and have a healthy, balanced, plant-based diet. I would highly recommend checking out the app. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.